Won't you please welcome, as I've admitted her, I hope I admitted her. Oh, Zoom, don't let me down. Here we go. Coming to the neighborhood, all the way from the village in Manhattan, the host of High Drama for how many years has it been, Eva?
Oh, it must have been at least 30. So I'm trying to get sorted out here. It's early in there we go.
And she's our first guest, and one of the reasons she wanted to be on early is that at 10 o'clock she's taping her newest episode of High Drama, which people can watch on Facebook. You have a YouTube. Where do your High Dramas go?
Okay, maybe it's loud. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Good morning. Good Shabbos to you. Yeah.
yes. So I'm on YouTube. Look under Eva Heinemann, not the Japanese anime. Go Eva Heinemann High Drama. I'm on Facebook High Drama and Twitter 6_6_second_ reviews.
6_second. Oh, second as in SES, SEC.
Yeah, basically 6-second review. You know, you pick something up off the floor after 6 seconds. I was being clever.
I know. I got it.
And I'm still on M&M. I'm still there.
Manhattan Neighborhood Network, which is the cable. No, what do they call it? Public access.
Yes.
Or
We're on every other Saturday. Our next show is going to be next Saturday, which is June 17th.
cool. So Eva, when I told you that I was I emailed you and I said I'm kind of stepping away from the theater this year. Not always. I feel very distanced from it, and immediately you went into ultimate high dudgeon mode. Like, you missed the best theater season ever. Did I?
It's true. It's true. The crowd has made it clear. This has been the season all year. I couldn't resist it.
Well, what was so great? Really,
Okay.
seriously, what you love so much? Yeah.
Sorry, I had to put everything down. So, I mean, I'm going into my looking at things mode. So I'm not looking at the screen now.
Sure.
Okay. All right. First of all, best book of a musical. There was only one thing that didn't belong in there, and that was New York, New York, which was not so good. But Anne Juliet was so clever. Oh my gosh, the way they used the music, because it's Mrs. Shakespeare arguing with Mr. Shakespeare about the ending of Juliet. Why the heck should she die? She's 13 years old. That's ridiculous. So they argue over this, who gets to rewrite it, and they're arguing over the quill, and they start singing, I want it that way. Clever.
So it's jukebox, but jukebox cleverly, with the songs really tucked in there cleverly.
Right. And then you have Paul Azat, which is so serious in South Pacific. Here he's cavorting and gambling about, singing teenage love song. I mean, it was brilliant. It was so funny. And then you've got Shuck, which is Robert Horn, who's like our new Neil Simon. He did Tootsie last year. It was one-liner pun, quit, funny thing after another. And Some Like It Hot was so rewritten, so much for today, and so beautiful. And then you got Kimberly Akimbo, which is just this incredible, heartbreaking, heartwarming story. And then the scores I'm so glad for the score they brought in Almost Famous and K-pop, which were totally overlooked this season. I thought they were wonderful. And best performance by an actor, I'm so glad that Sean Hayes is letting people know about Oscar Levant, because I have been in love with Oscar Levant. Everyone should read his book, Memoirs of an Amnesiac. He is hysterical. And Sean Hayes did an incredible job. And I love Stephen McKinley Henderson, who teaches in Buffalo. I'm glad they
getting a special award. Stephen McKinley Henderson is winning like a special Tony this year, right? Am I?
Oh, well, he got nominated for Between Riverside and Crazy. I don't know about a special award.
Well, I'm sorry. No, maybe he's just a nominee. I could be complete. Sorry, my mistake. Mistake.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to quickly go down through everything.
Please, yeah.
Best performance by an actress. Jodie Comer is just a standout. My God, she takes over the whole stage, tells this really riveting story that is just makes you want to scream, and she's doing it all by herself. And I do not know what Jessica Stain or anything from Doll's House is doing up there. It's like an Eva Van Hove production. It is just like they ruined the text. It's just seeing her going around and around and around, staring dead face, giving it was just
you hated Doll's House.
Oh, beyond anything. Now, best performance by an actor, you've got J. Harrison Gee, who is just so delightful in Some Like It Hot. But then you've got Ben Platt in Parade, who just gives this incredible performance. It's just like, you don't like him in the beginning. You just don't. And you're supposed to be sympathetic, but you begin to like him later on. And now actress in a leading role. I mean, you got Victoria Clark and Kimberly Akimbo, who should win because, my gosh, she has to play the 70-year-old who was really a 16-year-old teenager because that's this disease she has. And Lorna Courtney and Anne Julia and Michaela Diamond in Parade, wonderful. And for actor in a featured role, I'm so glad they remembered Ain't No Mo, which I just loved from the public, and that they brought it here. And then Leopold Stott. Excuse me, I've seen that 3 times. First thing
Have you really? You've seen Leopold Stott 3 times? Wow.
When I went to London a couple years ago for my holiday before COVID ended and theater came back, first thing off the plane, I went straight to see Leopold Stott. I didn't know it was going to come here. And then I got to see it twice, and Brandon Aronowitz is so good at it. I mean, everyone. I mean, personally, I think Leopold Stott and Parade should win everything, but that's just me. But I'm glad they brought up Cost of Living, which is a wonderful play. And again, you have the guy with multiple sclerosis. I always get them mixed up. But he's not a good guy. He's not a good, you think, oh, disabled, oh, you feel so. No, he's an evil bastard. They could be evil bastards too, So it was really a good play. And I love Fat Ham. I mean, that was just, and then, now Beth in a featured role, that's difficult. Because Kevin Calhoun, who usually plays the villain and everything, in Shuck, he was this like clueless, naive person that just said the funniest things ever. Justin Cooley, who had this romance with Victoria Clark, was just so touching. But Kevin Delaguila in Some Like It Hot was just like, oh my God, I want to take him home with me and wrap him in a bow.
Oh, okay. Don't do that. There's laws against that.
I know. That doesn't mean I want bondage with him, please. I just realized that came out wrong. Featured role in a musical. You got Julia Lester, Little Red Riding Hood, and Into the Woods. I mean, Alfie, when he was 4 years old, could sing that song, and it was so cute because he couldn't say valuable. He goes, wow, whoa, whoa.
Alfie, by the way, is Eva's son, who is now in his 20s, but back when he was, okay. I'm just putting in some context here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still his favorite musical. It's like nobody ever gets to see Into the Woods because I always take Alfie, but Epic Theater Company is doing Into the Woods right now, and I can finally bring somebody else because Alfie just saw it on Broadway. So finally someone else gets to go with me to see Into the Woods. And Ruthie and Miles, you'll never recognize her as a beggar woman in Sweeney Todd. And then you got Bonnie Milligan, who's just so delightfully evil, and Kimberly Akimbo. And Natasha Yvette Williams, she brings down the house with Some Like It Hot. And Betsy Wolfe plays Mrs. Shakespeare. And let's see. Oh, and of course, scenic design, you've got Life of Pi. Oh my gosh, Life of Pi. Those puppets, they should give a special award to the puppet in Life of Pi. That is such a good, amazing play. And I love the costumes in Paloma Young did and Julia, because she takes Shakespearean stuff and weds them to modern dress. So it was just fun to see what they were wearing. So direction, all of it is good for Fat Ham, Cost of Living, Leopold Stott, Ain't No More, Life of Pi. In fact, all the rest, I'm just glad they got K-pop in there and everything else. So
it sounds like the only thing you didn't like all season was A Doll's House. On Broadway, I'm saying. That's one of the things that we're lucky to have Eva with, because she does high drama, and you also live in the village, is that you see a lot of our other critics today aren't going to be able to speak to this, but you also see off Broadway, TC and
Tony Mug.
Tony Mug, of course. So moving away from Broadway, since you gave us this incredible rundown.
Oh, I just want to say, New York, because I didn't say too much about it, was the book was terrible. The leading people were kind of blah. And of course, but it has Susan Stroman choreography and Beowulf Lawrence great set, and Emily Skinner is in it. So that part was good.
But what was your favorite off or off Broadway show of the season? One or two of them. I know one is asking too much, but one or two.
Oh no, this is the one. And I was on your show when I brought this up because I just seen it, and me and Leslie Holman Blake disagreed about this, but Only Gold.
Only Gold. Just tell us real quick, remind us what that was about.
Andy Buchan,
I can do it, yeah.
He should have. I mean, for all the awards off in the off Broadway, he should have won every one. I'm sorry, It was the most incredible choreography. It was just magical, and I just but so it's a fairy tale about this couple from France, and they're forcing their daughter to marry someone, but of course she falls in love with somebody else. And then you have this other couple where he's trying to become an artist, and what happens to them. But oh God, that choreography! It just was
Only Gold, which was, I guess, an off-Broadway show. Do you have a favorite off, like something either at La Mama or Theater for the New City, or what other off theaters are still there? The Chain, maybe?
Yeah, the Chain. I was just going to mention there was this play called McBitches. And I can't remember the name of the other play that this person directed, but if I see that person's name, I'm going to do it, because one was about this horrible old mother who was being evicted from her house and her children, and you find out how horrible she is. But McBitches was hysterical. It was these college kids, and they all wanted to play Lady M, and this freshman got the part, and they invite her over, but they have all these horrible, evil sort of, damn Scottish play mechanisms against her. And it really worked so well with that premise. I like it when they take, updo premises.
Right. See, what I love when Eva talks about the theater is, I'm jaded and I didn't go much this year, and what I saw was mad. And then I hear her, running through these categories and running through what's playing in New York, and I'm like, I want to see that. Oh, I want to. And I'm probably a lot of times I disagree with your assessments of shows. We have different tastes, but I still want to see what you've seen because you feel so passionately about it, and then we can disagree in that way about it. So, last question. Oh yeah, please, Eva. What?
No, I was going to say the thing about McBitches. We get sent press releases, tons and tons of press releases, and we have our favorite press agents, and Katie Rosin happens to be one of mine. And I'm like, I can actually squeeze this in. So I wasn't expecting. I was just, I wanted to be nice to Katie Rosin, and it was a surprise. Don't you love it when you go to see something, you have no idea what it is, and you're like, oh my God, this is brilliant, and you would have missed it if you hadn't been kind of forced into going.
Well, I've had that for so many years. Especially back in the day when I was trying to see everything, you still see everything, and it's what you do. And then you go to the theater, and you're like, okay, let me see what this is, and you come out of the theater, it's like, oh, I can't believe I wouldn't have even been on my radar, and I got to see it. How lucky did I need? So, are you used to go to the Tonys sometimes? Are you going? Are you?
I can afford it now. I love going, even with a discount. I think they charge like $700 or something insane.
Wow.
I still remember last year. Oh, we're going to be nice and let the students go. They said we'll only charge $350. Yeah, another student loan there.
And this is Broadway trying to, on one level, it's trying to be more inclusive and show more genders and more colors and more this. At the same time, it's like, how much is a regular ticket for a Broadway? Oh, $300. Oh, how much is a Tony ticket? $700. There's still that wonderful disconnect.
But you know what I do? I want to give a plug to this, because this is my third year running doing this. Seth Radutsky does this very affordable show in the clubs all over the place. You can get a drink, some food while watching, and during commercial breaks, you just give him a name and he'll gossip about that person. So you can say Mandy Patinkin, and you get this wonderful Mandy Patinkin story.
I can give you a Mandy Patinkin story, but yes, that sounds great. So he's doing it. Where is he doing it? At Don't Tell Mama, or was he doing it?
No. This year he's doing it at the Triad.
Oh.
Last year he did it at Playa Betty's, and the year before that he did it at Caveat. So he's like the traveling crap game. He's a traveling Tony show.
And affordable crap game in the of Tony Dumb.
Under $40.
There you go. Well, you are priceless, Eva Heinemann. Remember to watch her show, which is High, and remember, it's High exclamation point drama, which you can find on YouTube, which you can find on Facebook, which you can find, of course, still on MNN, Manhattan Neighborhood Network, which also you can watch, by the way, on a streaming device. So even if you're not in Manhattan, if you go to mnn.org and look.
Or just go to YouTube. In fact, it's better to go to the YouTube because we make a lot of mistakes with the MNN one, quite frankly. So we have more time for YouTube to make it perfect. So go to YouTube to see the perfect version of our show.
And the YouTube channel is?
EVA HEINEMANN.
Oh, EVA HEINEMANN with 2 N's on the end. HEINEMANN, like the German.
Yeah, and not the Japanese anime. So if you go EVA HEINEMANN High Drama, you'll find us and subscribe.
Please do. And Eva, good Shabbos to you. Thank you so much for being with us in the neighborhood on the Broadway Special.
We have to do the Tony thing, you and me. It's tradition.
It's tradition. Next year when I see more shows, I'm in.
Yay.
Love you, Eva. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Eva Heinemann in the neighborhood on our special Tony show, our special Broadway special, I should say.